their nuclear arsenal. In fact, Moscow's leak assessment highlights the disintegration of arms control agreements that once sought to curb the arms race and reduce the risk of nuclear war. And as China accelerates its own nuclear buildup and the NATO strengthens its presence in Eastern Europe, the world is facing an extremely concerning situation. An unchecked arms race, after all, with no clear path to de-escalation is a major concern. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we're starting off this edition with some breaking news coming in right this minute. The Russian President Vladimir Putin saying the country's naval strategic nuclear forces are now fully equipped with modern weapons and systems. In fact, the announcement comes during a high-level meeting with military and government officials in St. Petersburg, where Putin stressed that strengthening these nuclear-armed atomic-powered submarines remains Russia's top military priority. Listen in.
Undoubtedly, one of the top priorities is strengthening the key segment of our domestic fleet, which is its strategic nuclear forces, which serve as a crucial guarantee of Russia's security and the preservation of global balance. In this regard, I would like to note that the part of modern weapons and equipment in Russia's naval strategic nuclear forces has already reached 100%, and I want to emphasize that this level must be maintained going forward.
Now, just for context here, Putin's announcement underscores Russia's focus on its atomic-powered submarines, each armed with nuclear-tipped missiles capable of delivering devastating second-strike capabilities. In fact, these submarines form a critical pillar of Russia's nuclear triad, alongside ground-based intercontinental ballistic missiles and long-range bombers. And the modernization effort is part of a decades-long campaign to replace Soviet-era systems with advanced weaponry, ensuring that Russia's nuclear deterrence remains robust. And interestingly, Putin's statement coming just a day after US President Donald Trump highlighted America's military dominance, boasting about weapons nobody has any idea about. These were the words that he used. Listening.
We're very powerful. This country is very powerful. Let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close.
And the US, in fact, has fast-tracked the production of its new nuclear bomb, 7 months ahead of schedule.
Hey, Shalom, brothers, man. And all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I want to show y'all something real quick. I did a lesson earlier. It was about 35 minutes, I think. Esau cut it. I swear I was screen recording it. But yeah, it's whatever, man. I had to start all over. I only had 2 minutes. I only recorded 2 minutes and 36 seconds. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the 2 minutes and 36 seconds. But before I play that, I'm going to get a couple of scriptures and touch on this right here, because we're definitely in a time where the Lord is pissed off, and he's making, these Edomites to go into this next world war, man. And that's where we at, man, And it's a time for everything, man. And we're in a time of war, brothers, So unfortunately, I have to do it all over again right now. And this another reason that you got to build your faith, brother, and you got to actually build patience, man. You got to gain some patience, because you can be easily discouraged. You do a 30-minute lesson, and then the fucking phone just don't record it, or something happens. A lot of times it be Esau, but because he plays around with the phones, and he's monitoring us, through these iPhones. He's tracking everything. There's a lot of surveillance, where these devils are watching brothers and, supervising, monitoring our lessons with our apostles and stuff. Anyway, man, this is why you need patience, because Don't get me wrong, I was pissed the fuck off. It got me heated, but I'm doing it over again. It's cool, because I know it's beneficial at the end of the day, spiritually. But anyway, let's get to the point. I'm gonna try to make it quick. Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. See, there's a time for everything, and like I did a lesson on Zabbat the other day, and ain't nothing changed. The Passover, they're rapping and Kwame Yashirel and rapping and music, having a good old time. And you had an idiot come on the comment board talking about why we can't have no fun, something like that. But we're not in that time. We're in the time that you should be fearing the Lord, and you should be preparing yourself, spiritually, take advantage of this grace time that we've been given, because the grace period is almost over. And once that's over for all you men playing around, with them stupid ass comments. We can't have fun. It's a time for all of that, man. You can have fun on your own spare time when you got a little recreational time or whatever the case might be. But the majority of our time, we're focused on this ministry, and we know what time we're in. We're not in the time of mirth, all right? We're in the time of war. That's why I wanted to read the scripture. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. And when you keep reading, it gives you examples of things we need to do and what time we should do them in. There's a time to rent, there's a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to cast away, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak. But this is the point, a time to love and a time to hate. So we're not in the time to be all lovey-dovey and this love. No, we don't teach prosperity Christianity and love your neighbor Christianity. No, we know that love means your neighbor Israelite. But how do you love? You love by keeping the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, which is prophetic. The prophetic laws, when you go into the word law in the Hebrew, goes into prophetic teachings. And those prophecies are being fulfilled right in front of our eyes. Because even King David said this. Let's go there real quick. All right, matter of fact, I had it. Psalms 139, and I'm going to start at verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord Yahweh, that hate thee? Yeah. See, the Lord hates. And the Lord hates wickedness. All right? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. Search me, O the Most High. Know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And see if there be any wicked way in me. And lead me in the way of everlasting. So anybody that comes against this doctrine, you're an enemy of the Lord. And the Lord hates you. And above all, we're in a time of hating. Because, look, we're surrounded by wickedness. And the point is, a time of war. That's what time we're in a time of peace. We're going to get peace once Yahweh Shai delivers the elect, establish his throne on the earth, and then we're going to start with our Lord Yahweh Shai and 144 implement righteousness on the earth. Peace. That's when peace is going to come on the earth. The name Yahweh Shai, Solomon, Malak Tazadah, these were all Yahweh Shai in the spirit, and they all had peace in their names, man. King of peace, King of righteousness, of Salem, all right? Which later down the line became Jerusalem, all right? We the people of Zion, a time of war and a time of peace. So we're in the time of war, brothers. We're not in the time of peace, man. That's why we go to Ezekiel. Let's go there real quick. I can't use my blue letter. I have to go to Google real quick. And I'm Salaka, not Google. I had blue letter. Salaka for that. So we get Ezekiel. All right. Let's go to, I want to make a point real quick. And I hope I didn't speak this in the 2 minutes. Let's go to Ezekiel 38. Because you got Putin telling Trump, giving him warning like, look, don't attack Iran. because there's going to be consequences. And you got Trump replying back to Putin in Russia like, look, we got the most powerful weapons on the planet. So they're being bold and very proud. And the Lord is doing this because the Lord wants this World War III to happen, man. And it's going to happen. That's why we pray, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, have mercy on us. So when you come here and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Mashuk and Tubal, and prophesy against him. This is modern Russia today. Now, when you went into the ancient world, you understand the geographic areas. Let's go there. All right. Matter of fact, where we at? Hold on. Salaka. Here we go. We got a map here. All right. When you go into Japhet land, they were the ancient Greeks, right? Which was the Minoans, the Etruscans. And this is going to be a quick history 101, real quick. All right. When you come into the map, let's go into this map. You see the land of Ham over here. All of these were Canaanites. When you read in the Bible, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hittites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, the Girgashites, all of those were Hamitic people. They came out of the loins of Ham. Then you had Cush, Canaan, and all that. Salaka for that. All right? But then you had this land, the land of Shem. You had Canaan up here that later became the name of Israel, Yasharala. Then you had here, Japhet land, where it's the red. I think that's red or orange, dark orange. And when you see this land right here, Caspian Sea, that's where Russia's at on the right. You have what here? Gomar, Magog, see? Mashuk, Tubal, Togarmah. See? See that? And that's what the Lord is speaking about. All right? That's what the Lord is speaking about when you do your little history. When you read Ezekiel 38, he's telling them he's going to make them go to this war. He's going to put a hook, like you put a hook on a fish. He's going to make them go to war. And that's what you're seeing right now. Ezekiel 38:5 says Persia would be Iran today. Ethiopia, Libya, Gomer and all his bands. Then we just read Gomer and the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with them. See? The house of Togarmah, Gomer. That's it right here. Gomer. Togarmah. The Caspian Sea, Russia over here, Japhet land. This is how you know this is speaking about. But what the Lord said, verse 7, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, and that thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So they're going to guard, they're going to protect them. You know, they're going to be a guard unto Iran. So this thing is going to go down, brothers. That's why you go to Isaiah. Let's go there real quick. Isaiah 13. It's 13, I think verse 17, right? It tells you that right here. See? Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to peace. Their bows are the nukes, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, and their eyes shall not spare children. And in Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellence shall be as when God, the Most High, overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited. All right? Ancient Babylon today is Iraq. There's people in Iraq today. There's people living in Iraq. So this is a spiritual, this is a future prophecy speaking about America. Ain't nothing going to inhabit here once the nukes destroy this place. Neither shall be dwelt it from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. That's it. That's it. That's why when you go to Zechariah, let's get Zechariah 2, verse 6. What did it say? Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, America, said the Lord Yahweh. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heavens, said the Lord Yahweh. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. That's a cold word for America. This is the daughter of Babylon where we at. So these wars are about to happen. So now I'm going to play my 2 minutes. I don't know what they play. Let's play it. He's against them, right? They're going to shoot them nukes. You see what they said on the YouTube? You got Putin going in, flexing his muscle, warning the West. Then you got Trump talking about, we got weapons you ain't never heard of. Most powerful weapon in the world, man. So you got the big bad bullies on the block talking shit to one another. And this is all the Heavenly Father's doing, man. So, hey, I'm going to end it with this. Because this is the time we're in. Let's get Revelation 8. And Revelation 8 and 13. And I beheld and heard an angel flying. Hold on, brothers. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe. World War I, World War II. Bear with me, brother. Salakin, man. Goddamn TV just start making noise. Whoa, whoa, whoa. World War I, World War II. Now we're about to go into this World War III that's about to happen. To the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are yet to sound. And that's where we at. Let's go Revelation 11. Salaka. And we're going to finish up. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. That's where we at. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Merekaha, Kodash, and Shalom, Blabakariam, Shah, Yasharala. Double honors to my apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. Lord willing, edify. This thing's getting heated up, Lord. May the Most High have mercy on us. Pray for Saints in Jersey. I pray for the apostles of Great Millstone. Pray for everybody. Be sincere, brothers. This thing is happening. It's woo. Shalom. All right, then. So that's where they cut me off at. They only recorded 2 minutes of it, but it's all good. That's why I'm doing it over. Let's go back to that. Let's go here real quick.
Putin stressed that strengthening these nuclear-armed atomic-powered submarines remains Russia's top military priority. Listen in.
Undoubtedly, one of the top priorities is strengthening the key segment of our domestic fleet, which is its strategic nuclear forces, which serve as a crucial guarantee of Russia's security and the preservation of global balance. In this regard, I would like to note that the part of modern weapons and equipment in Russia's naval strategic nuclear forces has already reached 100%, and I want to emphasize that this level must be maintained going forward.
Now, just for context here, Putin's announcement underscores Russia's focus on its atomic-powered submarines, each armed with nuclear-tipped missiles capable of delivering devastating second strike capabilities. In fact, these submarines form a critical pillar of Russia's nuclear triad, alongside ground-based intercontinental ballistic missiles and long-range bombers. And the modernization effort is part of a decades-long campaign to replace Soviet-era systems with advanced weaponry, ensuring that Russia's nuclear deterrence remains robust. And interestingly, Putin's statement coming just a day after US President Donald Trump highlighted America's military dominance, boasting about weapons nobody has any idea about. These were the words that he used. Listening.
We're very powerful. This country is very powerful. Let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close.
And the US, in fact, has fast-tracked the production of its new nuclear bomb 7 months ahead of schedule, with a maximum yield of 360 kilotons. That's 24 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. This gravity bomb lacks a guidance system but offers adjustable explosive power from 10 to 360 kilotons. The Pentagon has justified this move as part of efforts to bolster America's nuclear deterrence amid the rising global instability. And the US nuclear arsenal currently includes over 3,700 active warheads. It's a mix of intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched missiles, and strategic bombers. This arsenal is part of the broader nuclear landscape dominated by major world powers. The US, Russia, China, France, the UK, India, Pakistan are among the countries with operational nuclear capabilities. And earlier this week, Moscow expressed pessimism about striking a new arms reduction treaty with Washington, citing a lack of trust and warning that other countries are rapidly expanding their nuclear arsenal. In fact, Moscow's bleak assessment highlights the disintegration of arms control agreements that once sought to curb the arms race and reduce the risk of nuclear war. And as China accelerates its own nuclear buildup, and the NATO strengthens its presence in Eastern Europe, the world is facing an extremely concerning situation. An unchecked arms race, after all, with no clear path to de-escalation is a major concern. To stay up to speed with...
There you have it, brothers. Shalom.